Welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. An attack on the Afghan Defence Minister's house in Kabul has left at least 8 dead after a car bomb hit the heavily fortified green zone of the capital. The minister was not at home as he was evacuated with his family. More than 20 other people were reportedly wounded in the incident. Police say 4 of the 5 attackers were also killed after they managed to enter the villa. Meanwhile, families are fleeing their homes in the southern city of Lashkar as the Afghan army launched a major counterattack against the Taliban. Lebanese security forces have taken part in a march to mark the anniversary of the catastrophic BEIRUT port explosion. 1 year since the blast caused by the ignition of tons of highly explosive ammonium nitrate stored in a port warehouse, no top official has been held to account, infuriating many Lebanese. The power of the blast seen here. What should have been joyful wedding photos turned into a dystopian nightmare for this bride and those in her party. More than 200 people were killed and thousands more wounded in the blast of one of the biggest non-nuclear explosions ever recorded. President Joe Biden has called on New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign after an investigation found he had sexually harassed 11 women.
Are you now calling on him to resign?
Yes.
Mr. Biden's condemnation of Mr. Cuomo came hours after the state's attorney said the governor had violated state and federal laws. Investigators spent 5 months speaking to nearly 200 people, including staff members and some of those who made complaints against him. In response, Mr. Cuomo denied touching anyone inappropriately and vowed to stay in office. The governor could now be impeached and is also facing a separate criminal probe. A British maritime agency has said that the men who boarded and seized a ship in the Gulf of Oman have left the vessel and all those remaining on board are safe. The agency said the potential hijacking of the Panama-flagged MV ASPHALT Princess had ended but gave no further details. The tanker was seized on Tuesday heading into the congested approach to the Strait of Hormuz. It is not clear who seized the ship, but analysts suspected Iranian forces. A wildfire is raging uncontrolled in the north of Athens, burning homes and forcing authorities to order more evacuations. The fire started on Tuesday about 17 kilometers northeast of the Greek capital and has quickly spread under the current hot and dry weather. More than 350 firefighters have been dispatched to the area. Images show helicopters dropping water to try and contain fires spreading near an industrial area. North Korea wants a raft of international sanctions to be eased before it will restart denuclearization talks with the United States. The head of South Korea's National Intelligence Service said that Pyongyang has also called for sanctions banning its metal exports and imports of refined fuel and other necessities to be lifted. The remarks came as North Korea was distributing emergency military reserves of rice amid a severe food shortage and economic crisis caused by a drought and made worse by the coronavirus pandemic. South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma will be allowed out of prison next week to appear in person at a corruption trial. This will be the second time Zuma will appear in public since he was taken into custody last month. The court's decision comes weeks after more than 300 people were killed during rioting that was sparked by Zuma's arrest for contempt of court in a separate case. The trial relates to a 1990s arms deal and allegations that Zuma received bribes. And finally, the US has found a new piano prodigy, a 4-year-old that can play Beethoven and has won a spot to perform at Carnegie Hall. Brigitte Scher started piano lessons on Zoom just a year ago when her dad signed her up to give her something to do during lockdown. Brigitte was the youngest winner of the prestigious Elite International Music Competition and is expected to perform in front of Carnegie Hall this November. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to Millicent in Lagos.